Hello, welcome to Debbie Loves Designing. Well, you know what? Look what I made. A beautiful silver hoop earring, and I put these lovely trace chain with lovely pink and purple beads, which is my favorite color is pink and purple. So I'm going to make the other side. So I thought I'd show you exactly how I made it. So what you're going to need is some proper jewellery wire. This is jewellery wire, and this is 22 gauge, and it's half hard. So you're going to need some of that. Also, what you're going to need is the trace chain. This bit here is called, this chain bit here is called the trace chain. So you're going to need some of that. This is jewellery wire, is jewellery making chain as well. You can get in silver and gold. You're going to need 4 beads because you're going to be putting 2 beads on each earring. So you can put whatever colour beads you want, or different shapes if you like. You're going to need head pins. This is called head pins. It's got a head here, or you can use the one that's got the ball or the hoop, anyone. It comes under findings, but these are head pins. You're going to need 4 because you're going to use 2 on each earring. Also, you're going to need links. It's called links. So it's like a little link that opens up. You're going to need 2 because you're going to use it on each earring. So it opens up, called a link. And also, you're going to need something round to wrap the earring round to make the hoop. So if you use like a small round thing, the earring will be small. If you use a bigger round thing, then you know the earring will be big. Also, for the equipment, you're going to need a hammer, jewellery hammer. I like hammering. You're going to need a metal block. You're also going to need some cutters to cut. You're going to need jaw pliers. You see that here. You're going to need flat nose pliers. You're going to need round nose pliers. So let's begin. I've already got a piece of wire, and you're going to take whatever round thing you have, and you're going to just turn it around, bend it around like so. I mean, that bit's a bit crooked, but I'm going to cut that off. So you're going to just kind of bend it around so you get a nice round shape. And then I'm just going to get my cutters and cut this bit because we don't need it. So we're going to just chop that off there, the cutters. And then I'm going to just twirl it around like that. There. Just kind of twirl it around. You've got a bit that's kind of crossing over. So it's just like that. So, you know, round. Just going to make it a bit more round because it's a little bit wonky. So I'm going to just bend it nicely. There we are. We bent it. So it's round. And then we're going to pick up our metal block. I like to put a little cloth under it. And then we're going to pick up our hammer because we're going to harden it. It's a bit like DIY, I suppose. And we're going to hammer it. Use the metal part actually. And hammer it to make it hard. But you don't need to really bother about the bit that crosses over. We're going to just make it nice and hard. Turn it around. and make it harder. I'm going to keep hammering it until it's nice and flat. Turn it around. Mind your fingers. Right, so we don't need to bother about the bit that's crossing over, but I like that it's now nice and hard, and also, yeah, it's nice and hard now, and I like the pattern it makes anyway. So what we're going to do, we're going to get our cutters, we're going to cut a little bit more off, and we're going to take our round nose pliers and we're going to just make a hoop, make a loop going downward. So just take it and turn it so there's a loop going downwards. So what we need to do is make the earring will go like this. Oh, and another thing I was supposed to mention, another thing I was meant to mention is that you need some kind of file to file, because this part is going to go inside your ear and it's going to be sharp. So you need some kind of file just to file it sort of diagonally around the edge of it until it feels nice and soft. It feels nice and soft already. It doesn't take long. Just to give it a little file so it feels nice and soft already, like that. So you might have to do a little bit of adjustments, but it should be like fitting like that. So the next thing we're going to do is pick up our trace chain. I've already cut mine and I've measured it so it's the same size as the other chain on the other earring. And what we're going to do is put beads on both sides. So what we're going to do is pick up our head pin, so head pins, and we're going to thread on the bead, one bead on each head pin. So it's my favorite. Yeah, we thread it on, and then we're going to cut 1/2 centimeter, which is usually roughly the width of your finger. Cut 1/2 centimeter, then we're going to turn it. So we're going to get our cutters, we're going to cut it. Let's see, that's 1/2 centimeter, and then what we're going to do is bring the round nose pliers, clamp it at the end, and then we're going to turn it to make half a loop, not a full one, but we've turned it, so we're going to make half a loop. It's going to open that loop a little bit, because what we're going to do next is thread the hoop, the loop on the loop. We're going to thread this trace chain onto it. So just thread it on. So it's threaded on now, and then we're going to close it completely. So it's nice and threaded on. I don't know if you can see that. Nice and threaded on. So all we have to do now is close it by placing our round nose pliers inside the gap and then just clamping it and closing it. Just clamp it and close it. That's it. Put it up a little bit more and grip the edge and close it. I mean, you can use your flat nose pliers to close it, but I find it easier to use my round nose pliers. Just put it inside again, like that, and then close it. Grabbed it, and we've closed it tight. I might use my round nose pliers just to squeeze it more in. Okay, So make sure that it's nice and closed and secure, and then repeat the procedure on the other side. Put the bead on the other side. So I've repeated the procedure on the other side, so both sides have got the bead on securely. So the next thing we're going to do is attach it to the hoop earring. So make sure it's in line with the other one. Just going to give it a measure. I usually count the hoops, so I usually like to count the hoops, so I see about 5. Yeah. So what we're going to do next is pick up the, I like to use my round nose pliers to pick up the link. Pick up the link. Make sure the link's already open, and then put it inside the loop, inside the trace chain, inside the loop. Just loop it in. Okay, so we've got it in there. Just make sure it lines up with the other earring, and then what we're going to do is just close it. Close the hoop, the loop. I mean, the link. Close the link. You can use it with your hands, or just kind of close it in, or use the round nose and the flat nose pliers, but just make sure that you've closed it. So there, we've got nice and diagonal. And the final bit, we're going to add the trimmings to the earring. Open up the hoop, and we're going to simply thread it on through the loop, like so. So it's nice and threaded on, nice and dangling. And here's the other one, so they're nice and even. So I'm really pleased with how those have come out. So thank you so much for watching my channel. Please consider subscribing. If you've got any comments, any questions, please put them down below. Please share this video to anybody else that would be interested in watching it. And I do like to post like every fortnight, usually on a Thursday. And also I'm also on, you know, all the social media. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest. I do love to pin as well. I've also got an Etsy shop because I love making jewellery and posting it on my shop. So thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.